Hey guys, it's Mike with Fishing and Fabricating, and I'm sitting in my wife's car right now. Got the hood up because it's literally 82 outside right now, and the air conditioning's not working properly. So this car is a Traverse. It's a 2013 Traverse. So I think the air conditioner just needs a little bit of refrigerant put in it. These cars have a tendency to leak a little bit over time, especially around the compressor. So what we're trying to do here is just get her back up to the level it should be now. What we're going to do is we're going to go out there and work underneath the hood, but right now I'm going to check the temperature of the air blowing out of the system on the inside of the car. All right, so right here's the dusty gauges. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the fan all the way to full. All right, we're going to turn this on. Now you see what's happening there? That light's blinking and going off. So that's giving us some kind of an indication something's wrong. We gotta figure out what it is. I got this all the way down on cool, and you can see that our temperature right now is 88 degrees coming out of there. So first thing we gotta do is see if we can figure out what that is. We might have to do some research. It could be a blown compressor fuse, bad relay. Could be a plethora of issues with that, but we'll find out. So right now we do not. Yes, we do. We have a check engine light. So let's hook up the diagnostics to the car and see if we can figure out what the check engine light is. All right, let's go get the reader, code reader. Okay, we're going to try to do this one-handed. Thing wants to slide around on my leg here. But we're going to do... Alright, so we have a PO141 O2 heater circuit. Bank 1, sensor 2. Alright, so we gotta look up PO141. There you go. Helps if you know what to do or how to use your reader. Been a little while. So let's turn this thing back off. Turn it back on. And we'll pull this out. Start it back up. Okay, the check engine light went off. So that's gone. But now we have to figure out why this is doing this still. So I'll take you off here for a minute and then I'll go look it up and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we got rid of the blinking light, and what I did was I ended up putting refrigerant in the system. We got it down to 62 degrees. I think we could get it a little cooler. I used the one can that was like 540 grams. It was pretty low on the indicator on my gauge, so we're gonna have to check it tomorrow and see if it's leaking or if anything changes. But I did use the refrigerant with the sealer in it, because those rubber gaskets that are in there, they get a little bit dried out over time, and that's why they leak a little bit, mostly around the compressor from what I understand. So yeah, we're gonna have to watch it, see if it seals up and if it keeps going. If it does, we'll put another can in, but I don't want to put, I mean, that stuff is not cheap, so just with that can I just put in was like $40, which, you know, I mean, that's not too crazy of a cost considering you're going to have cool air, but you don't want to put $70-80 worth of refrigerant in here and then find out that it's all leaking out. So that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and look at the manual and find out exactly what it holds as far as refrigerant goes. I did not do that I just went off to gauge. If you remember from the earlier video, and I think I showed it, but I may not have, I had a temperature gauge in there and it was sitting at around 88 degrees when I first started. This light was blinking and then went off. Now the compressor was off. It wasn't running, so I checked the fuses and the relay and that before I went any further. And just to make sure it wasn't one of those, because I did weld the exhaust on this the other day, and I thought it could have possibly, you know, sent an electrical current through there and popped a fuse. But the fuse in the relay was good. I just checked them with a multimeter and checked them for continuity. So then, that's when I decided to check the refrigerant, which I had to gauge, so I put that on there and the gauge read low. So this thing will not, the compressor won't run if it's really low on refrigerant, because that's what lubricates the compressor as well. So as soon as I got a little bit of refrigerant in there, it took off, and then it just started taking it all in. So just remember that if you got a 2013 Traverse and you have that problem, it's definitely tell you there's something wrong with the coolant system, and generally it's a low amount of refrigerant, but it could also be a bad compressor or a pressure valve, or it could be a lot of things. So all you can do is try it, test it and see. One thing I do want to point out though is on this car, the low pressure line where you have to put the refrigerant in it is in the worst place possible. For me, it's just an engineering epic fail. I'll show you what I mean here. Shut this off and I'll go out here and show you. So yeah, so what it is I'll grab a light here. See the filter right there? Oh, hold on. Trying to do this. The filter right there, and that silver line next to it, the low pressure valve is that little tiny black thing on the bottom. It's capped up. So as you can imagine, with the exhaust right there, it gets a little toasty in there while you're doing the job. So what I did was I just put on a welding glove, one of the thinner ones, and that way they get burned. What I want to show you is, so here's the gauge. When I first started it, it was at 20 psi, so that's pretty low. By the time I finished filling it with these two cans, this can and that one, I made it to a whopping 30 psi. So I think I would have been more pleased if it would have been between 40 and 50. It's 82 degrees outside. I gotta imagine it should have been at least between 30 and 40. I'm not sure. I guess I probably could research that. But and I probably will. But yeah, I find this to be really interesting, especially when the high pressure side is right here where it would be so easy to get to, and you don't need to get to it to fill it. This is for, you know, they tested it, like you can put they have a gauge that they can put high and low pressure side on, test both sides. But it would have been nice if this would have been the one that you hook your hose to instead of way down in there. But anyways, that's it. I didn't go into all of the details on exactly how to do it. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just hook that, you shake that can real well, hook it up, kind of tip it. I use like a 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock tip because the hose was just long enough to where I could get it in here and do that. I know some people do 6 to 3, but regardless, I took the whole can and it's in there and it's cooling. But that's really all there is to it. I recommend that you wear a glove when you're doing it so you don't get refrigerant on your fingers. That is not something you want on your hands. It's very cold. And probably safety glasses as well, because you don't want to get that in your eye. That would be my safety tips. But yeah, like I said, for me it was just more of trying to give you guys a video on if you have a 2013 Traverse and you're having a light that's blinking like that and it's not cooling. A little bit of a tip on what it probably is right out of the gate, first thing to check. So hopefully this was helpful to somebody. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for watching Fishing and Fabricating. Again, this is Mike. And like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and tell your friends. We'll probably be doing some more similar videos like this. That's what happens when you own cars, man. All right, we'll see you around the corner.